Invasive removal project is focusing, what we've done on previous DFFM grants is focus on buffalo grass and fountain grass. And we have been working over on the other side where we were over at the gold field, at the gold, whatever that is, the, ghost town. If you kept going down that road, you'd come to Lost Dutchman State Park. We've removed buffalo grass in that area and fountain grass. There's more buffalo grass there. The fountain grass is more up on the hillsides where more of the water runs down in the washes. As soon as it starts spreading out, we don't get as much buffalo grass, and we get our fountain grass, we get more buffalo grass. On the Friends of the Tonto website, we have a sliding map, and you can see we do almost 100% manual removal. We've done a couple of test areas over in the Hawes Trail system, over along the Bush Highway, and a little bit up here on Jacob's Crosscut. Jacob's Crosscut is a 12-mile trail that goes all the way across the front of the superstitions and around the north side. And it's a 12-mile thing. So we had some crews go in there and they were not good enough on the herbicides. It did not work. So this grant is going to be a little different. Back to the sliding map. If you go to friendsofthetonto.org and look at that sliding map, you can see we are making a difference. And the mapping system that we use is field maps. And Don Pike, who is the guy that started this whole thing with Friends of the Tonto, and Patty Fenner, developed a mapping system where we map it, we remove it, and then we monitor it. And it's got flag systems. So we can go in there and do the mapping, make our polygon, whatever, and it'll turn red. As soon as we get a team in there, a crew in there, and we remove it, it turns green. In 1 year, it goes to yellow. That means we need to get back in there and see what's coming back. And that actually does work where we can get people. The problem is we've got a new DFFM grant that we're going to start that we just got. And we are working in we've kind of blanketed this area. It's actually awesome. The city of Apache Junction got the grant. Friends of the Tonto got the grant, and we work in the forest and the wilderness area. These guys are monitoring Silly Mountain. My HOA backs right up to Silly Mountain. They just got a grant, and they're going to be doing the same thing, bringing people in to remove all the fountain grass and the buffalo grass there. We're going all along. I don't know if you guys are used to the trails around here. In the handout, you have something that looks like this, and you'll see a blue line. This is Broadway. It was the last four-way stop. We stopped at right there before we turned. Up at the end of there is a trailhead. There are 60 acres of stinknet. So that's part of our grant. That's all going to be herbicide. We're working with Ryan with the Forest Service to kind of work on the best way to do it. Are we going to go pre? Are we going to go post? How are we going to manage this? From the Broadway trailhead, we go all the way to Gold Canyon along Lost Gold Mine East Trail. And then we have a huge infestation of fountain grass, and we can't get in there, and it's just thick. We manually removed 2.5 miles from Massacre Trailhead up through Massacre Wash in through the forest and up into the wilderness area. We just got it done completely, 100%, 2.5 miles. Woo woo. So what that's going to do now is it's going to roll over into our monitor system. Take crews of we started out with 5 of us when we first started this. Now we're running 20 to 25 people, which is a good amount of people to manage because we're running pick mattocks. We all have a pick mattock and pry bars, and that's how we get it out.
Who are these people?
People like me. There's a lot of people. I'm not young. I'm a grandma. We're all 100% volunteers. So one of the things that we're doing with our grant money is Don's got brochures over in the Usery area, and then I've got brochures here at select trailheads, and it talks about the invasives, what we're doing. Contact us if you feel like it. We're targeting hikers, people that like to be out in the wilderness. You get off trail, you get to see beautiful areas that you wouldn't get to see if you weren't working. And what we've seen, last year we got a few more. This year we're getting groups, conservation societies from high schools, the medical students from Tempe to come out as a group. So we're getting more and more young people. I'm getting too old to billy goat, and you're up on hillsides. This stuff it's up there. You guys know where it is. So what we're going to do in this Hog Canyon, we use the East Valley Backcountry Horsemen's Association. They will be staging water in these places where we can't haul water in. So the horses take it horseback. We stage the water, and then we're going to be bringing in commercial contractors to do the herbicide application. It's target application, not widespread, one plant at a time. That's how we're doing it. And then what we'll do is after that, we will be monitoring as per our system to see how it's doing and see if it's coming back, and then we'll do manual removal with herbicide as needed in areas we can't get to. The buffalo grass for manual removal is a lot easier than the fountain grass. The buffalo grass is on the flats. You can get into it and get under it. The fountain grass goes into washes and it gets under boulders the sides of buses. You can get the top part off, but you're never going to get the roots. So we now have permission to use herbicides in the wilderness. So we'll probably in one of our monitoring events go up the wash and target the stuff that's coming out of the cracks in the boulders that we couldn't get the roots to keep that wash clear.
Just a comment about fountain grass and herbicide. I mean, it looks pretty green all the time.
No, it goes dead. It goes dormant.
It's probably drier up here, hotter.
Yeah, it is. We can attest to the flammability when it's dry. We had some Boy Scouts up there, and he hit the rock with the pick mattocks and started a fire in the dry fountain grass in the wash. And it was 8 feet high before we knew it. But we got lucky because some of the scouts had shovels. Actually lucky that we were in an area of the wash where there was sediment, because a lot of the times we're not. It's just solid rock, and we were able to contain it. But like the Superstition Fire people said, it would have been an hour, hour and a half before they could get anybody out there. So we've changed our guidelines. When the Forest Service issues a fire warning, we are no longer in the washes. We don't go in when it's raining either. And our work is from October through April. So we've got this pretty well covered between AJ doing their stuff. The only problem is that state trust land. That hogwash area, we've got a bunch of fountain grass, and then we've got buffalo grass through to hieroglyphics that's on state trust land. So we're going to have to work with them. Alan and Don are working on that to get us to either they maintain it, they do something with it, or they allow us to come in and do something about it, because that ruins everything. You got Gold Canyon here, us here, and this whole swath of property that's getting covered with invasives. But this will be the first time we're actually targeting the stinknet. It's taken over in the burn. Somebody was talking about what it does in the burn areas where the invasives take over. If you ever go out to Massacre Trailhead, that area was in that fire. It all burned. You take off down the trailhead and you look off south, what used to be a native desert environment is now 100% stinknet. When we went up after the fire, the hyacinths were coming up, all the beautiful things. Well, that isn't happening anymore because that took over.